Hey guys, so it is about 10 a.m. And my day has already completely gotten away from me. The plan for today had been to just keep working on the mural and just have like something nice on in the background on the TV and just sort of relaxing and working for the day before we went out for a show tonight. But I got a call from one of my best friends. She's in hospital at the moment, and she sort of, because she went into emergency not really thinking she'd be staying, didn't bring her phone charger or anything, so I've just stopped at the hospital to collect her house keys, and I'm heading to her house now to get her phone charger and like a book and some other stuff for her. And then while I was getting ready to leave to come to the hospital, a friend of mine who also happens to own my favorite cafe gave me a call, and he's got one of his friends, or like one of the guys that works at the cafe, is an artist, and he was just saying he's sort of having a bit of a rough time at the moment trying to do sort of the like life and artist thing all at the same time, which I can definitely understand. It's hard to sort of balance the two a lot. I am very, very aware that I am really bad at not working, and my husband often has to remind me to sleep, eat, and actually spend time with my family. So my friend was hoping that I could come have a chat to this guy and just sort of talk to him about ways that he can balance both and sort of promote his work and just general artist chat, I guess. So I'm going to be doing that. Apparently I'm going to get fed, so that's always good. And I also have to have a chat to my friend, the guy that owns the cafe, because he's actually opening a gallery soon, and he wants me to curate it, possibly work there. So that's going to be interesting. That's something I've never done before, but I think it'll be something exciting to possibly try my hand at. So I guess when this happens, it's sort of like my day getting away from me kind of thing. Like, it's still technically work, but it's not the work that I need to do to be on time with my commissions. So basically I just sort of have to make the decision that if I'm doing this today, then this is going to be like one of my weekend days. So it just means that I'm going to be working through Saturday instead of Friday. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I also have to pick up a script from the doctors, and then I don't know if I'll get home and hopefully have some time to work on murals or something before going out again, but we shall see. Why is it always so difficult to find car parks at hospitals? Anyway, I have a blanket, and hopefully what was her phone charger. Otherwise I'm doing another trip back to her house if I grab the wrong thing. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with her, hopefully, if they let me, and then back home for these meetings. Hey guys, so I just got back from the cafe and my little chat with the other artist that was there. It's 4:30. What are you complaining about? Excuse me. Can you see that nose? Yeah, it's 4:30, so I'm getting picked up by my friend Beck to go to his show tonight in less than an hour, and I need to make dinner. So I have something to eat on my way in, and my husband has something to eat when he gets home from work. So I'm going to try and rush through this and talk to you guys at the same time. Hey, future editing Kat here. So I was pretty tired at this point, and I have now like 45 minutes of footage of me just like waffling on while making dinner. So here's what I was trying to say, but way more succinctly. So the guy I was meeting with actually had about 3 times the amount of followers that I do, and he has like really, really amazing work. The thing I noticed was he seemed to have a sort of preconceived notion that followers equal work opportunities and followers essentially equal influence and power. Now, don't get me wrong, he was really, really lovely, and most of us believe the same thing, honestly. I know I did to an extent before we had this chat, but actually, like, thinking this over has had made me sort of realize a few things. So his main question was he wanted to know how to make money from his art. With all the followers he had, he wasn't getting any commissions. And he wanted basically what any of us artists want. We want to make art all day and still be able to afford food and a roof. That's the dream, right? So unfortunately, my answer wasn't what he wanted to hear. Well, he was still totally lovely during our chat. He sort of closed off and seemed to dismiss all my suggestions, like all of them, no matter how I phrased them. Basically, after looking at his art, social media, I noticed that he didn't engage any of his followers. So when he posted an artwork, he didn't say anything about it. He didn't show any of his process work. He didn't ask his followers their opinions or like to do anything else to get them involved. And he didn't reply or acknowledge any comments, of which he would maybe get like one comment per 500 likes. So my suggestion was he needed engagement on all those platforms and of course networking as well. These are two of the most important things to get your work out there. There's thousands of artists out there who can do exactly what any of us can do, only better. And there has to be something about your work specifically that draws people in and that makes them like want to put your art on in their gallery to sell or on their wall at home, or to get the opportunity to see themselves or their friends or family or even their original characters through your eyes, right? So people need to feel invested in you and your work, and that attachment is the compelling force for them to become involved. Now, I'm not suggesting everyone has to put themselves as a person out there for the world. Most of us artists are super introverted, and some of us find this magical balance, online at least, where they're able to keep themselves totally private while still being able to talk to and engage their audience. You don't have to talk about your personal life, but you could talk about how you're trying something new to challenge yourself today with this artwork. Even talk about how you think it turned out. Maybe ask your followers what they think, if they have any suggestions. Your followers are a fantastic source of second, third, and 100th eyes on something you've probably been staring at for way too long. Personally, I like to try and help other artists as well when I post. I try to sort of explain my process to be helpful and give insight to others who might want to improve their practice, hence this YouTube channel even. To me, it's a two-way street, and both you and your followers can help nurture each other's passions and creativity. And then some of us find it easier to make ourselves part of our brand, even if it doesn't come naturally to us as introverts. For me, being on camera or showing my face on my Instagram and stuff is a learned behavior. If you go back to my very first YouTube videos, you can see I'm super awkward, and I still am, but I'm getting better at it slowly. To me, this approach makes more sense. Partly because I do like teaching others things I've learned, and it would be a bit hard to do that without me being involved, but particularly as my artwork is very personal to me, especially when the work is sort of speaking about my illnesses, for example. There's no separation there, and if there was, the works would be significantly less powerful without sort of the reality of a real person sharing the experience. So that's more the engagement side of things. Unfortunately, the networking side of things is a bit more confronting, at least for me. You have to be able to talk about your artwork. There's no getting around it. Even if it feels like you're spouting bullshit and you sound obnoxious, if you can't talk to people about your work, no one in the industry will remember you or your work when they curate their next gallery show, or when they're needing a concept illustrator for the next game they have in development, or when they can't take a commission or work an event and are suggesting other artists to that client that they could try. I've gotten some of my best gigs talking my way into them. I get to do live painting at PAX Australia because I pitched a live painting proposal to them, not because they randomly saw my work online.
Would you like some cheese? Would you like some cheese? Would you like some cheese? Here you go. Cheese.
He shouldn't be having that. Another example is other artists that you've networked with suggesting you for work that they can't currently do. So I got to do live painting at the Deadpool premiere because one of my artist friends couldn't do it that night and he thought of me. I've suggested plenty of artists that I know personally, that I've networked with, that I know are, you know, good people, that are reliable to my clients when I can't take their work as well. So that is a very important part of sort of networking, making sure you're part of an artist community where you can all sort of help each other out. Anyway, by the time we were at the end of our chat, I had the impression that my suggestions were being dismissed, mostly because he really didn't want to talk to anyone, followers or industry people. I think it was just more the anxiety of having to begin an interaction too. Like the fear of rejection is like a really powerful thing, and it doesn't ever go away, by the way. You just sort of have to learn to work with it. I also got the impression, even after I explained all of this to him, that he was still hung up on my follower count. He kept reiterating how he didn't understand how I got work and he didn't with those numbers, and it didn't seem that my experience in the industry was as important to him the second he realised my follower count. So I hope he's had a chance since then to at least think it over, because he really does have amazing artwork, and he just needs to get it out there, even if it is uncomfortable. Pizza. Yum. Hello.
Hello.
It's cold. We're about to go see Puffs. Apparently it's funny and maybe less cold than it currently is.
Was I leaning in that?
No.
Okay, good.
But they're going to hear everything you're saying just because it's funny as well.
Why, hello, fellow cat viewers. I'm saying that like I'm viewing, but right now I'm not viewing. And I have chocolate in my mouth.
Okay, and on that note, I'm going back to the stage. Update. It's still cold. Also, this is Liz.
Need Liz.
And Beck made awkward eye contact with Millsy, which none of you will know unless you're an Australian about our age. Anyway, we're going home now.